Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Tuesday, February 17th, 2015. Well, as you all know, the markets were closed yesterday, and I forgot to remind you about that. And even last week's announcements were mixed on Friday. So there's really not much to talk about there. We'll move along quickly today. Empire State Manufacturing Survey and Housing Market Index are on tap for this morning, and then Treasury International Capital in the afternoon. Let's take a look at across the ponds. Over in Asia, mostly bullish, and in Europe, mixed, I would say. And here in the U.S., a little peak here. Looks like we're going to open pretty flat ourselves. Okay, moving right along, let's take a look at the actual futures here in the U.S. Like I mentioned, everything's looking pretty flat right now. Gold is at $12.21, still not doing much of anything here. Oil is at $53.16, creeping back up. The dollar's at 94.08. It's a little bit of a boost since the last time we looked at it, if I remember right. And the euro-US dollar gaining a little bit of strength at $1.14 on the euro side. And over here in our account, we have absolutely nothing. Let's take a look at last week. And I wanted to talk something out with myself here. So last week was not a good one overall, with a negative 395, and for the year we are down. So I was looking at this and I'm like, where are my big consistent losses? My big consistent losses are in the equities. If I look at the cash indexes, which are all the highlighted ones here, you can see that for the most part they have been good trades, winners, and I make quite a bit too. So I took all of them and I added them together here, and I come out with, this actually is $1,156. And that's not just taking out bad trades, that's just taking out the equities and just looking at the cash indexes. So what should I be trading right now anyway? Well, earnings season, that may have hurt to a certain extent, I don't know, but it makes me wonder, and I will be keeping an eye on this, and I may be leaning a little bit more towards the cash indexes as we move along in the year here. Okay. So that will be up on my blog for you to take a peek at. Okay. I guess we could get right into the scan right now if we would like. Is that what you would like to do? One other thing I wanted to look at here was our, what's the trend here? Well, the trend is up. We had this little bit of a blip here. Looked like we might have been looking at a double top, but here we have a new high for the last 20 days, and I believe I heard something Friday about, I don't pay much attention to it, but when they talking heads say, oh, we had a new record. I don't know what the record was if it was in the S&P or the Dow or what. But we definitely have one here for the last 20 days. So this is the high. And this is pretty much a general trend direction also. And let's see here. Did we get a new release? 1870-14. So build 1870-14. Nope. No new releases or mini releases or maintenance releases or anything for a while now. Sort of a steady platform, I guess you might say. Okay, we're going to jump right into the A+ list here. And these, I'm going to have to stiffen up my rules, I think. Maybe that's my problem. Apple, we have a target set down here, waiting for it to come down and touch it. And Amazon is on a tear. We have a target set, waiting for it to touch it. Boeing, not doing much of anything right now, but looking pretty powerful nonetheless. Alibaba, it's only $89. Not sure what we're going to be doing with this. Looks like as though it might be trying to recover. And there is some momentum to the upside coming in. Baidu, we got burnt on this one, didn't we? That was a Friday trade that hurt. And they made a nice recovery there. Chipotle. Not sure exactly what's going on with Chipotle yet. You know, it looks pretty obvious here that price is moving up, but I don't have a confirmed trend on that one yet. Costco. Oh, let's see. Can't tell what's going on with Costco either. Let's take a look at the Dow. I don't see anything here that says anything about a new high. And that's over the last year. So, at least from a DJX perspective, we're just a tad short. A peek at gold. Here's where our call is, our short call. Let's see here, Google. I think we're okay with gold. We're just collecting theta on that one. Google is definitely in an uptrend, and we have a target set down here, and we're still waiting. Waiting. LinkedIn. Not sure if it's going to hold on to that or not. And here we have NDX, which was a good trade last week. Very short trade, actually like a day and a half. And that's the one that expired where I did not exit the trade. And everything seemed to work out just fine with that. It took a while for the options to drop out of the account, which was a bit of a surprise, but I expected them to be gone when it opened, and actually it was a little bit later in the morning when it finally disappeared from the account. So what are we doing here? Well, we're going to look for another opportunity here. Well, let's just slide this one over. Just slide it over to there. Actually to here. We are in a uptrend for sure. All right, Netflix. Did not work out too good. So we're just going to get rid of all these drawings. I apologize for that. That one could have gone either way quite easily. Priceline. We have earnings coming up, so we're going to hold off on that. And we have the Russell here. It has a new high. We have a target down here because we are in a confirmed uptrend on both charts now. So we'll be looking for an opportunity there. SPX. Well, actually, this week we'll be trading SPX PM, but it doesn't matter which chart we look at because they're both the same. Or we don't need to trade SPX PM, but only if we're waiting for, like a Friday expiration. Okay, so we are in almost a confirmed uptrend here. Slide this down to there. Let's take a look at Tesla with their earnings, and they're recovering nicely from that. We're just going to stay away till that settles down a little bit. We can try to tell what's going on with it. Visa was a winner, and it ended up being a pretty painful loser. I can remember when it was up like, $180 or something like that, and I kept pushing it and changing my limit order. So that was a naughty thing to do. So what are we looking at now? Why is my dog is trying to look out the curtains? There's something going on. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at what looks like an uptrend. So we'll set a target down here and see what happens. All right, so actually, this is a pretty short one today. I guess that's good. There's lots of things to talk about, but I'll wait until a little bit later in the week to talk about some other stuff. So I'll just stick to the scans for right now. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.